guys, it's Nikki. I'm here doing a surprise vlog because I had some surprise holidays. So I'm just gonna film my reading since I can't go anywhere because of COVID. I can't go anywhere because we had a blizzard yesterday and the streets are god-awful. So now that I'm home from work, I'm doing nothing until the road conditions are better. And so that means I'm gonna read. So my plans this weekend are pretty ambitious. I have 5 days off. This is the first evening after work. My days off start tomorrow and go till Tuesday, which I'm hoping to have this blog up by. But my reading is a little bit different than I have been reading so far this month. In January, I've been reading a lot of sci-fi because of another challenge that I'm vlogging that should be going up at the end of the month. And also, I've just been really into nonfiction books this month, listening to them as audiobooks at work. So I'm mixing it up a little bit. So the first two, I'm not actually sure which of them I'm going to read because I don't think I'll get to both. One is The Huntress by Kate Quinn, which has to do with the spy network in World War II, I believe. And specifically the part that was run by a woman. The other one is a gift from my in-laws that I got for Christmas. It's The Daughter of the Reich. And that book is about a girl who is a daughter of a Nazi officer. And she's kind of fine with everything until she actually meets and befriends this man who she finds out is Jewish, and she kind of ends up questioning everything. Based on what the synopsis says, she ends up questioning everything that she knows about what the Reich is doing. I haven't heard anything about it, so we'll see, who knows, maybe it'll be super controversial and I'll hate it. And then the other two, the one I'm going to read for sure is Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa. I've read the first two books in the series. I pre-ordered this and then promptly didn't read it all of 2020. So my plan is to maybe Spark Notes the first two. I think I remember most of it. I just want to double check that I'm not missing anything big. And then I'll progress on to here. And then the other one, which is one I'm really not sure if I'm going to get to because it's a chonker, but I do want to start reading some larger books this year, and I think this is a great weekend to start because I have hardly anything planned. And Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss has been highly touted as a really good sci-fi, or sci-fi on the brain. It's been highly touted as a really good fantasy novel, so I'm excited to pick it up. I've heard pretty good things about it from people that I really trust in terms of their fantasy recommendations here on BookTube, so that is where I'm getting my hype for this one. And with that, I will kind of update you as my weekend life goes, maybe give you a kind of glimpse behind the curtain, so to speak, to see what my life is like. Trust me, it's really boring. You're not gonna be that interested. But I'm gonna share anyways because I don't share a lot. And with that, I will see you guys in the next clip. Hey guys, sorry for the background noise. I'm boiling some water. I'm just here to update you. It is now the next day. I barely read in bed. My husband came to bed with me and we ended up talking philosophically for an hour or two, so then I ended up just going to sleep. And that's not a euphemism for sex, I swear. But I kind of told you guys I'd give you kind of a peek behind the curtain, so to speak, on a day off, at least. So, as a responsible adult, I am both ensuring that I have optimal caffeine in my system and that I'm having a proper breakfast. So how am I doing this? Well, here. I'm having grapefruit. I'm making a coffee press of coffee. And the most adult of it all, toaster strudels. I promise not all of this footage is going to be weird hand cam stuff because I know my arm shakes and it can be really disorienting. But that's how I'm going to start my morning. It's 9:15. So I've been up for a couple hours. I got up about 7:30. And I had my first cup of coffee. I put on BookTube and I read about 80 pages of The Huntress by Kate Quinn, which is one of the books I told you I was going to try to read today. And I'm here to update you because I was goddamn wrong about what that book was about. There's a spy, sort of, but it's a multiple perspective book about all these different people. You have a journalist and, for lack of a better term, his an ex-journalist and his sidekick who are hunting down small-time war criminals who were considered to have too little political significance to be tried at the Nuremberg trials. You have a girl in America whose father just married a widow who says she's a war widow, but this girl, Jordan, is finding that there's all these different little clues that's kind of telling her that her new stepmother is not who she not who she presents herself to be. And then you have Nina, who is a girl from the wilds of Siberia who ends up joining part of the USSR army. And their stories are kind of unfolding, and I know by the end they're all going to coalesce into a single storyline, and I'm curious if I'm both right, and if I'm not right, how it's going to be done. So I will kind of keep you updated as I read more of the book, or if I choose to pick up other books as well. I'll see you guys in the next clip. Hey guys, so it has been 9 hours since I talked to you guys last. I meant to do an update kind of halfway through the day, and I just didn't. I was absorbed in reading, and so I'm updating you guys now. It's about 6:15 now. I've been reading all day, exclusively reading all day, and as such, I have some good news. I finished The Huntress by Kate Quinn. Like I mentioned in the last clip, I was super wrong about what the premise was, but I'm glad I didn't read the synopsis on the front kind of jacket, because I ended up being really pleasantly surprised by it, and I ended up enjoying it quite a bit because I just didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, I did mostly predict what was going to happen in here. One of the things that I was thinking, which I'm not going to say because it's very spoilery, ended up coming off as very conspiracy theory-esque after I got farther into the book. At the time I last talked to you guys about this, I was only about 100 pages in. And after reading another 100 pages, I realized I was wrong about that part at the very least. But overall, I was right. It's not super heavy-handed. If you're paying attention, you'll kind of pick up on it as well. But overall, I felt this was really well written. I'll give you my full thoughts and rating or at the end of the vlog when I sit down and kind of summarize my reading weekend. And then after I finished that, I immediately picked up Night of the Dragon and finished this as well. So far, I have read for 9 hours and read 900 pages, thereabouts. As I mentioned, I was exclusively reading all day today, which explains why I got so much done. But Night of the Dragon I had pre-ordered last May or June when this came out, and it was better than I expected. The ending, still a little too clean, but I really appreciate that Julie Kagawa didn't lean into really classic tropes that you get with young adult fantasy, especially if there's a romance element to it at all, as was hinted in the first 2 books in this series. And so overall, I was very pleasantly surprised by it. It was still a little, like I said, still a little too tidy for me, but really not that bad. I don't have too many complaints. It was a very solid ending to a series that I was afraid was going to end poorly based on the second installment in the series. And that's all I got for you today. Having read for the last 9 hours exclusively, I might take a break now and do something with my husband because he's now done work, so I don't have to read to entertain myself. Not that I don't read when he's free, but we'll see. But as I said, I'll just see you guys in the next clip. Peace. Hello there, guys. I am just making myself a beautiful cup of coffee, and then I'm going to start my reading for the day. As I mentioned last night, I ended up doing something other than reading just because I had been reading for 9 hours, and to be quite frank, my eyes were very tired. And I noticed something else. It's gonna focus on that for me. It's hard to see now, it's faded a little bit, and because it's not focusing, but there's like this purple stuff just on my hands. I found out after finishing reading that my hands were so sweaty that some of the color came off the cover of my Night of the Dragon copy. It's my hand's fault, not the book, I can tell you that, because my hands are always sweaty, but yeah, so that was fun, thinking I was diseased until I realized it was purple. So these are my 2 reads. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick up, because I did read one historical fiction and one fantasy, and from what I understand, both will probably have hard-hitting parts, so I don't know what I'm going to get yet. All I know is that I'm going to start with coffee, and I'm going to go from there. Oh, I have to admit, not putting my hair under a toque every day significantly improves how good it looks on camera. This is day 2 of not going to work, and my hair has been on point for me the last 2 days. Don't know if you guys thought so, but I feel that way. Anyways, I'm here to update you on my surprise reading vlog. I haven't made tons of progress since I talked to you last night. A large part of that was, like I said, because I had been reading for 9 straight hours with no other real break or anything. Even though I was enjoying my books, it was still 9 hours of reading. My eyes are pretty tired. So I ended up doing a voice call with my husband. We were doing our own thing on our computers, so that was nice. And this morning, I actually ended up picking up Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. As you can see, I have made just a very small dent in there. I know you guys probably saw me with the dog-eared page, and I do it. I know not everybody likes it, but I do it. And I actually picked up, I got an ebook of the Screw Tape Letters, which I was listening to as an audiobook with my husband. However, even though I love John Cleese narrating the book, and I enjoy the format with which the book is done, it is a series of letters from Screw Tape, who is a demon, to his nephew, who's like an underling demon, who's learning how to convert people to the way of below, I guess. And I'm not like super engaged in the audiobook, despite the things I like about that kind of writing and despite the narrator. So I did pick up an ebook. I'm going to hopefully catch up to where we were in the audiobook and then be able to read and listen to the audiobook at the same time. I think that'll really help me consume this a lot better and get a lot more out of it. Because I personally don't have a lot of history with faith in my life, I'm finding some of the things that they're talking about in the book to be a little bit harder for me to understand. So I'm thinking that having both will add a little bit more context for me. I'm doing a full review for this one at the end of the month with my husband, so I will give you my full thoughts then. I just wanted to let you know what I was reading. And then I don't know how much more reading I'm going to get done today. It's like early afternoon right now, and we have a standing date with a friend of ours to do video games on Saturdays, and that usually takes up all of our time between about 2 and midnight. So depending on how late we go, I may not actually have any more reading done for you. If I do get to do some more reading, I will update you guys and kind of let you know what's going on, where I get to. But other than that, I will just see you guys in the next clip. Hey guys, I'm just here to do a final update for you. It is the Saturday night. I tired out of playing Monster Hunter World with my husband and our friend, so I came to bed to read. That isn't really working out. I read maybe another 20 pages of the Screw Tape Letters, and that got me to the halfway point, which is where we were with the audiobook, my husband and I, so I'm probably done that one for the weekend. I also picked up Name of the Wind, or rather I'm going to pick it up here and try to read a couple more pages. I don't know how far I'm gonna get. We'll just have to see, and I'll update you guys in the morning when I get my coffee. Hey guys, it is now Sunday in this reading vlog. I didn't take you guys with me to go get groceries because sitting in a car for 15 minutes is pretty boring. And we don't have to drive far. It's like a 2-minute drive to get to our grocery store. However, Sundays are kind of a busy, big deal day for us. We spend the majority, probably 8 to 9 hours of the day, playing computer games with our dads, which is super fun and we love it. But in prep for that, we usually get a brunch going, which I'll see if I think of it. I'll include a time lapse of it, and that we really enjoy that. And then once we get brunch and dishes done, we get a slow cooker meal done. That won't be time lapse, but I'll try to remember to include it in my next clip if I think of it. I got 0 reading done. I woke up this morning, I had a terrible sleep, I had a headache, I was in a bad mood, so I just sat on the couch in silence with my coffee this morning, and so that's my update for you. I did read another couple chapters in Name of the Wind last night, but that's about all I got done so far. Okay, so here's the last of my coffee. Brunch is ready to go. Our supper, which is Salisbury steak meatballs, is in the cooker and it's started. And the brunch, which today is breakfast sausages and creme brulee French toast, which you saw in the oven there, is well on its way. My husband here is making a garlic aioli because he is spoiling the hell out of me and making homemade ale pretzels. So I still haven't done anything in terms of reading because it's all been cooking. There's my husband finishing up the aioli. And I will talk to you guys maybe again this afternoon, but probably not till this evening. I'm gonna try to maybe pick something up that I enjoy. I'm not really feeling Name of the Wind right now, and I'm not really feeling historical fiction, so I might introduce something new into the mix. See you guys. Good morning. It is now Monday, so I'm in day 4 of my vlog, which is the most days back-to-back I've ever vlogged, because usually my vlogs are a little bit, longer, quote-unquote. So I did get a little bit of reading done. I forgot to check in with you last night. I was just too tired after we gamed, so this is what I read yesterday, or rather read part of yesterday. It's interesting. My husband and I are planning on moving into our own home sometime this year, and our plan is to set up a very large garden because it will be outside of a larger center. We'll be able to grow and store a lot of vegetables because it'll help us in the long run in winter. I'm not really sure what my plan is so far today. I'm going to try picking up Name of the Wind again, which I'm not going to be able to show you because I have it beside my bed and I don't want to walk that far right now. But I don't actually think I'm going to read The Daughter of the Reich, which was my other historical fiction. I'm really not feeling historical fiction right now. I'm probably going to read more of that produce book, which is super thrilling. But for now, I'm going to grab my coffee, I'm going to look at my audiobooks, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. Hey guys, it's Nikki checking in again here. It is Monday, the 4th day. I think I checked in with you briefly this morning before I had my coffee. And now I've shoveled the walk, I've showered, I've eaten, I've appropriately caffeinated. I'm ready to be in front of the camera. I did shower pretty recently, my hair's still kind of wet, but in terms of reading updates, I've got one here for you. I did actually end up finishing this. I don't know what was driving me to pick it up other than just like, it's an easy read. It's basically a recipe book. So I actually am unlikely to list that with my Goodreads stuff, but because I mentioned it, I figured I'd mention it again. And I've taken the sleeve off, but this is a hardback of All Out. It is a short story anthology with interesting kind of like LGBTQ plus representation. They've taken traditional fairy tales and kind of altered them in such a way that these characters are still filling similar roles, but are of the LGBTQ plus community. I've only read like 3 of them so far. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know how much I'm going to read here. I'm hoping maybe to pick up Name of the Wind tonight. My husband plays video games with his friends Monday evenings, so my intention is to have a call with my mom and then read while I watch them play, because if you've ever watched a group of guys play, there's a lot of poop jokes, and it is fucking hilarious. So I'll check in with you guys again, hopefully this afternoon, kind of give you an update on All Out, maybe give you an update on Name of the Wind if I get back to it. But we'll see. After today, I have one more day of holidays, and so I'm hoping to get this vlog up at the end of the day tomorrow to coincide with going back to work, but we'll see how it goes, and until then, see you in the next clip. So, this afternoon went exactly how I thought. No reading was done. I didn't pick up Name of the Wind. I didn't pick up All Out and read another short story. I played The Sims all afternoon and went to my mom's to pick up some new masks that she made us. This is the highlight of my afternoon. Greek salad and chicken katsu. Chicken katsu we've done a few times now. It's one of probably my husband's favorite dishes that we do. He says it reminds him of the very first meal he ate in Japan when he visited with his friend, well, over 10 years ago now. And so I always find it like a good, quick comfort meal, and it definitely sits well with him too. I'll see you guys in the next update, although I doubt I'll get any more reading done tonight, but we'll see. Hello there, people. This is the last day of my vlog. Getting my coffee ready. I slept in an ungodly amount this morning. I don't know how it's going to affect my sleep going back to work. I'm assuming it's not going to affect it at all, because I've been sleeping terribly and I don't actually feel rested. Sorry for that big cut. I cut out walking into my room. You don't need to see it in that state. So, I read a little bit more of Name of the Wind last night. I read a little bit more of All Out. Oh wait, no, not All Out. After I finished reading more of Name of the Wind, I read more of the Screwtape Letters. And I've talked to my husband. We're hoping to finish that today. He does have some more monotonous work to do that would be good for listening to an audiobook, so we're going to do that over the course of the day, and I'll probably take my other books in with me to my room, but for now I'm going to listen to an audiobook and play some computer games just to really relax on this final day. Hey gang, I'm here to do my final check-in. This is it. This is all. I've been editing this as I've been going, so I apologize for the length. This is a little bit longer than I intended. But anyways, my surprise vlog had 2 successful reads. The Huntress by Kate Quinn and Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa. I read both of these on Friday, where I started off my surprise reading vlog with a bang that immediately fell out of the air dead. The rest of my weekend has been a mix of not reading that much and not reading at all. One of the other books I wanted to read, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This one I didn't actually expect to finish. And I read about 120 pages or so. I'm enjoying it, but we'll have to see. All Out, I've only read one more short story out of here. I finished using both the audiobook and the ebook. Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. My husband and I are going to be doing a review for that one at the end of the month, so I'm not going to talk about it here with my wrap-up. And then I also listened to about an hour of Ace. I think the author's name is Angela Chen. I don't remember for sure. I'll pop it up above my head there. And now I'm just going to do a quick summary of all the books and a rating. So The Huntress by Kate Quinn, I'm giving a 4 out of 5. I kind of summarized it earlier, but I'll recap it here. It is a multi-perspective book with everybody's story surrounding this woman who is said to have killed children, was fraternizing with a very high-up Nazi official, and at the end of the war, she just wasn't a big enough fish to go after for the Nuremberg trials. And that leads you to one of the perspectives, which is Ian Graham. He is a ex-war journalist turned, like, hunter? What happened is, after the Second World War ended, he stopped writing and instead is tracking down different and various Nazi officials and fraternizers who were too small a fish to fry at the Nuremberg trials, which leads you to meeting Nina. She was from the USSR. She grew up in the wilds of Siberia. She became a night witch, which is super badass, but super terrifying. And after the war, she meets up with Ian Graham and joins him there on his expedition. And that leads you to your third and final perspective that you follow. That is Jordan. You start following her when she's 17, I believe. And when the story ends, she's in her early 20s. And her father marries this war widow with a small child, and it is a story of them becoming a family, but also Jordan kind of suspecting her new stepmother isn't telling them everything. It ended up being a really, really interesting read. Not at all what I expected, considering I expected it to be about the spy networks in World War II, so there you go. And then Name of the Dragon is Julie Kagawa. It's the final book in the trilogy. It is ending the story arc that is introduced in the first book regarding this ancient scroll. And although the second book in this series wasn't great, the third book definitely goes back more to the roots of the first book, so it was really wonderful to have it wrap up like that, and I'm just super excited that it ended so well. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like the strongest finish I've ever had in a series, but it was definitely one of the strongest I've ever read. And that leads me to do quick summaries for the books I didn't finish, excluding Screw Tape Letters, because there'll be another video for that. All Out was really interesting. I loved retelling of fairy tales, and this one with such an LGBTQ spin it's so engaging. I'm absolutely adoring the stories I'm reading, and it's just warming my heart that these characters are getting their fairy tale endings. And it's really all the book is. I'm really enjoying it. It's a sweet anthology, and I recommend it to people who love LGBTQ plus representation and fairy tale retellings. Which leads me to the final book, Name of the Wind. That one was a chonker who I didn't really expect to finish reading this weekend because it would have taken the entire weekend. But as I'm sure many of you are familiar, you follow the main character, Quoth. He is kind of retelling the story of his childhood, and he's just talking to a chronicler, and a lot of people complain about him being a Mary Sue, but I think it's just the kind of character he is. It's not really bugging me too much. It's a very, very slow start, and I think it's going to be a pretty slow burn story. Overall, I'm excited to see where it goes, but it's going to take me a while just because it is very hard to get into. The pacing in this first 100 pages or so has been considerably slower than I anticipated. And with that, I will end it here. Thanks for joining me for my surprise weekend, and I'll hope to see you guys soon in the next video. Peace.